Have I told you how I first heard the night signal? No? Well, sit back, relax, and listen up. If you stay to the end, I'll even play the first broadcast I ever heard, the broadcast that started it all. It was in the late 90s at the time. I'm not sure if it was 99 or 2000, but I guess it really doesn't matter or make a big difference. I had just gone off to college and was doing a lot of traveling that summer. I had a free excuse to pack up the van and hit the road. That summer, I decided to go to the American Southwest. It always held a certain charm to me, and now that I was in charge of my own destiny, as I was out of my parents' house, I decided to go out and check things off the list of things that I'd always wanted to do. What could go wrong, right? At the time, I didn't have Radar, my furry co-pilot, so there were some long, lonely nights on the road. The air was out in my van, so I drove mainly at night to try to stay cool, and I explored the towns and cities I was in during the daytime. I was a lot younger then, and I didn't need as much sleep. I so could not do that now. Anyways, I was driving late in the early morning, I know that's contradictory, somewhere outside of Lubbock, Texas, and was looking for some good music to keep me awake. I found a classic rock station and settled in for the long haul. My destination was Roswell, New Mexico. You see, from an early age, I had always been fascinated with the strange and the paranormal. I obsessively watched Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack and would tune in to Coast Radio in the early mornings to hear strange stories and unbelievable tales callers would have. I couldn't get enough. I had always defined myself as a skeptical believer. So anyways, I set out that summer with Roswell, New Mexico as my first stop. I mean, if you're going to start somewhere, why not there? So there I was, late at night, listening to the radio, when the strangest thing happened. Out of nowhere, the radio show was interrupted by a strange broadcast. The night signal. It wasn't long, just about 30 or 40 seconds, but it would change my life forever. The speaker called herself Broadcaster 6, a strange character trying to enlighten her listeners with the truth. She spoke of a strange organization that was trying to silence her, and how us, sheep, had to wake up to the truth. It was strange. It was like she was speaking right to me in the front seat of my van. And just like that, it was over. I pulled over to the side of the empty road and sat in stunned silence. I quickly scanned through the radio dial to try to see if she was broadcasting on another channel, but had no luck finding her again. At the time, the internet wasn't what it is today. There was no Reddit or YouTube. Heck, even Google was barely a thing. The only thing we had at the time were these old forum spaces. So that's where I started. I stopped in a little town just outside of Lubbock and found an internet cafe. For you young folks, yes, these existed. I logged in and dove deep into the paranormal side of the web. When I say deep, I mean I dove deep. I spent the whole day searching out other people that had heard the broadcast. We talked theories of who she could be and what she wanted. I found out that this wasn't even her first broadcast. She had a number of them under her belt by now. Always late at night, always in a different place. I became obsessed. I continued my trip, of course, but had a new focus: to find Broadcaster 6. I traveled from New Mexico to California, then up to Washington State, but I was always a few steps behind. Eventually, with the help of my friends online, we found a way to track where her next broadcast would be. It seems she was leaving little breadcrumbs for us to follow. It was like a test. Only the worthy could follow. So that's what we did. A number of us set out to find her. We were all over the United States. Some were even in Canada. No matter where she would pop up, one of us would be close. Hopefully, to catch her in the act of broadcasting. The question was, which one of us would it be? As it turned out, it was me. I had looped around and was heading back down south through Colorado when I picked up the night signal broadcasting. Again, she spoke of mysteries and warned us of the Department of Containment. Then, just as she was about to finish up, she addressed me. She spoke directly to the group that was tracking her. She approved of our tenacity, but warned us that we were getting the attention of those unseen forces acting against her. She warned us that we were on a path that we would not be able to turn off of if we continued our search. If you want to hear that fateful broadcast, you can listen to it on my website now. If I put it on YouTube, they'd take it down because of the copyright music. As I listened, I picked up on a clue that she had planted in the broadcast. I'll let you discover it for yourselves. After a few minutes of decoding and searching my maps, I sat in amazement. She was close. She was really close. Only about a 3-hour drive away. Did she know where I was? Was this all intentional? Now, I think it was. So what was I to do? Was I not going to go where she hinted she would be? Of course not. I hit the road, breaking more than a handful of laws on my way there. I pulled up to TJ's Diner at 6:45 the next morning. In the parking lot was an old Airstream trailer with broadcasting equipment on the top. This had to be it. I walked in and scanned the seats and booths. There in the back was Broadcaster 6. I just knew it was her. I don't know if it was the way she stared back with that knowing smile, or if it was just something subconscious that hinted at her identity. She was a lot younger than I thought she would be. I sat down, and the first thing she told me was, "It's about time." Now, I could tell you what we talked about. I could tell you the secrets she let me in on, but I won't. Not for now. For now, I'll keep it to myself. What I will tell you is by the end of our conversation, by the time she pulled away in that Airstream, I had become Broadcaster 7. I never did see her again. Her broadcast stopped shortly after, and I took up the mantle of the night signal. And that's how I found all of you. I want to thank you for listening to some stranger on the airwaves, for making me feel like I have an audience out there. It means a lot. Who knows? Maybe there's a Broadcaster 8 out there listening right now. Someone to pick up the night signal when I'm gone, but not today. Not yet. For now, I need your help. It seems Broadcaster 6 is transmitting again. I don't know why she's back, but it must be important. Are you worthy enough to help me track her down? I need your help. And as promised, here's a copy of the first broadcast that started it all. It might help us track her down again. Listen up, people. It might change your life too.
You're listening to Rock 101 The Toad, West Texas's home of classic rock. Up next, we've got a non-stop rock block that's sure to keep you awake on this late night. The time is now 3:30 a.m., and today's weather is looking to be bright skies once again, with a 0% chance of rain for the weekend.
Attention, listeners. I've hijacked your airwaves to deliver a message. You can call me Broadcaster 6, and I bring you truths that have been hidden from you for far too long. The world you know is a facade, a symphony of deception designed by our puppeteers. They control the narrative, and you, my dear listeners, are victims in their grand design. They call themselves the Department of Containment. It's time to break free and awaken to the truth. The secrets I hold could change everything. Remember this, 6 is the key to unlocking the hidden knowledge. Seek it out, and you shall find answers. Look for the signal archive. This is Broadcaster 6. You have been receiving the night signal.
What is going on? Are we back on the air? I don't even know what to say, folks. We'll be right back after a short break. Please stay tuned.
Have you been involved in an 18-wheeler accident? Is your insurance company dragging their feet? With Andrews and Hood Attorneys at Law, we'll turn your misfortune into a paycheck. Don't delay, call today at 806-555-5326.
That's it. Short and sweet. Find the archive, people. I need your help tracking her down again. Find that signal. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy our content. Your support helps keep the night signal broadcasting. And as always, this is Broadcaster 7 asking, are you receiving the night signal?